All right, let's go ahead and get started here. All right, HUD's on, so we're good there. So it's community stream day. A little bit earlier than normal, but there's a particular item we're hoping to test out today, that being the railgun. I have all the parts, right? Yeah. I should have 2 of each part now, I believe. I could have made more, but I never got on since the last stream, so I just never bothered. But hey, Josh. Yeah, we have 2 of each part now. Right? Yeah, perfect. All right. Let's go ahead and just get a quick warm-up in. What's a good map for a warm-up? Scorched Enclave, why not? Let's go over to Scav Girl too. Hey, Game Shift. Hey, Cronin. Quick warm-up, then we're gonna throw up the public lobby and see if anyone wants to join. Now, I only have 2 rounds of railgun, so that's all we're doing for it. I'm pretty sure it gets used once you bring it in and like deploy it. So like it's a one-time use in raid if I recall correctly, though I honestly do not know. I would think it is. All right, 556. Let's go ahead and buy some meds too. I know I'm chronically out of those. I mean, you can loot drop. We don't need everyone to have a railgun part to use the railgun. We only need 3 out of 4. But like, eventually it will, if I need it. I mean, yeah, there's always going to be a free slot with the railgun. But that is the goal for today. That's because I haven't game shift. I have not bothered yet. It's a co-op objective, and I usually don't play much co-op, so like it's not really a stretch goal for me.
Remember, we keep what we kill.
Hey, Alex. Yeah, there we go. I was like, why is it so quiet? Now it's popping off. No.
I've been waiting for this.
So, I've been messing around in UE5 a little bit, and the last, what the hell? The last editor I actually made maps in was Hammer. And if you're unfamiliar with Hammer, Hammer is the old Counter-Strike / Valve like original source like map maker. So it's essentially like 20 years old, if not older than that. And going from like a 20-plus-year-old map editor to the current greatest and best, my god. Correct, Cronin, yeah, that is correct. That is the free game I use from Otis. Ludroth, you can always do the thing too where you just cheat it with the clock, right? Because the timer goes off, the crafting timer does go off your IRL clock. Yeah, it's pretty much you just download it and drop it in, then you just run it when you're running the game. Out of that, just a few keybinds. Yep, I did that for water scavs. But like, as opposed for me having to do that for like a couple weeks. No, I only got jailed off Bunko. And it only jails you if you actually buy something from the traders. So the secret with it is just passing time, really, without actually buying anything. And in contrast to that was me moving time up for 2 weeks to trigger water thieves. This is moving up the time by 3 hours. It's not that comparable. Hey, Daniel. So mentally too, I'm trying to think of like where the hell would you even go with the railgun, right? I feel like on most maps you would like be the target once you deployed it, except for night shifts, and even night shifts would be like bad, right? Because how much ammo do you have? Hey guys, no, god damn it, fucking snipers. You know, snipers usually are deployed in CQB, guys. Gotta talk about this. Hey, Duffs, how's it going? That's a gotcha. That is a gotcha. Let me loot you. No. Oh well. Yeah, that's the problem there, Cronin, is getting night shifts. I mean, all I'm gonna say is, remember, the basis for the AK-50 is a meme, not necessarily a good gun. You're not gonna see a military just suddenly adopt the AK-50. I'm sure Brandon Herrera is doing his best, but like, it is a gun that's more of a meme as opposed to trying to be a useful gun. I mean, we are playing an extraction shooter though, right? That is, I mean, it is the genre of meme guns. Oh, for sure, yeah, you always learn stuff doing things. Alright, warm-up complete.
Hope the bastards
Ran around a bit, got shot by a few snipers, we are ready to go. Alright. Public lobby it is. And ideally, I am gonna provide preferential like, naturally there's gonna be a free slot, but if people want to use a railgun and they want to join, they're gonna get first priority until I run out of parts. So just keep that in mind. Sorry, not sorry. It has been said. Let's go over to Masked Man too. Masked Man, Pack Mule. Dudroth, there is a free slot. Also, yeah, it's not pointed at you, it's just pointed at everyone. I'm okay with waiting. Alright, so Daniel, are you asking for ballistics? I would be surprised if we ever got ballistics in this game. That seems not worth the effort. none of the maps are really big enough. The gunplay isn't intricate enough, and the maps aren't big enough to actually have fully fledged, like, ballistics. I mean, they could do it. I mean, I wouldn't really focus on that for a game like this, but it's certainly a possibility. Having to balance out every gun's barrel length along with weapon caliber and ballistics. I would be surprised. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what they're planning in that regard. I would be surprised if they go that route. Are you new? What are you doing there? Can't shoot you. Has that body always been there? Wiggle, 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 wiggle. I mean, if it wasn't for the... Hey, Blood. It feels like Game Shift, that the reason why all of those big units ballistics are so freaking, I guess, quick, or should I, slow, is because of the AI bug. Because the AI bug is still in the game. It still happens all the time, where you will just get randomly shot by the AI that's not aggroed to you. And it's okay when it's infantry, but when it's a medium mech shooting you with a railgun, just randomly, a little bit off-putting. Hey, Devin. Doing well. Community stream day, hopefully for the railgun, so open lobby. We'll give it like 5 minutes and no one joins, we'll just run it back. It usually takes a while for everyone to get in. I'm gonna go up there. Yeah, no worries. If we don't make the railgun today, it's no big deal. I'm not, like, I cannot stress enough how little of a rush I'm in, right? Oh, I'm offline on Steam. Oh, that's a good call. Let me go off online. I'll go public. I hate going public during streams, but it is what it is. But I mean, I wish there was a lobby code. Lobby codes just make things so freaking convenient. Just drop a lobby code real quick. That's Captain. They actually drop them way too easy right now. They like one grenade launcher shot, they drop their gun. It's not really, Daniel, that it's by design. It's just that there's some bug with the AI that's been persistent since the game's come out. Like in 6 months, the bug's never gone away. It still happens all the time. And so you'll just be like walking around, running around, and you'll just randomly get shot at like from an unaggroed unit. And it's not just from like collateral damage. It's not just from chance. It's just occasionally when units are shooting each other, they occasionally shoot you instead. And it's fine when it's infantry and it's like a couple hundred damage. But when it's a medium mech with a railgun, it instantly kills you. It's less prevalent now. It seems the only way to still trigger it is to be closer than the enemy. So if you're not that close to the medium mechs, you're typically fine, but it can still happen. It seems to be only really proximity issues now. So say, for example, like, you know, your Ruskins are fighting Europans, and you're closer to the Ruskins than Europans are, but they're not aggro to you. As part of fighting the Europans, they will occasionally shoot you instead. Now, they won't persist on that, but, like, they will bug out a bit. No worry, Game Shift. Yes. The I stream during the midday European crowd. No, that's fine. Every time I've ever done streaming, it always seems to be, like, never for a good NA time, which is fair. Everyone's at work. I cannot fault you. Alright, we can go ahead and run one. I mean, you're 12 hours ahead, Ludroth? Ugh. Well, let's do a little nice Ashen Mesa real quick for a warm up as a group. I'm sure this won't go wrong at all. Yeah, no rush, Ben. We got all stream. So we got Pacific, we got Australian, we got Ludroth's time, whatever the hell that is. Yeah, we got a Central guy. Yeah, there he goes, bugging out the dog again. Indonesia, there we go. It should just be on the video right below it, Game Shift, in regards to, it should say like subscribe or something like that. Or membership or something like that. Should be at the very bottom of the video if you like don't have it full screen. Though if you're on mobile, I don't know the layout there. Hey, Smoke. Yeah, no rush. Yeah, I have no idea where it is on mobile. I watch nothing on my phone. I am old enough where I was not raised with a phone, so like my basis for like watching things was always on the computer or on the TV. I'm scared. I think one of them's fine. I think the other two visually clash with the game. Essentially, I don't mind Scav Girls, but like the other two just don't work with the rigs all that well. Wait, what? I didn't loot them though. Is it the two uplinks? Did me grabbing two uplinks trigger HKs? I even avoided the pictures. I didn't even pick up the pictures. I mean, Bagman's is weird too. Like, they both just don't match the color palette of the rigs.
I picked up only one drone part, that's all.
Yeah, just HK normal things. I like the Bagman one, but it doesn't feel like a scav. It once again feels like a mercenary, which is fine for a paid skin, right? It's supposed to be different. But man, I feel like, to give a better critique, I almost definitely want to like try the no rig mod, because I feel like the Bagman skin would probably look pretty good without the rig. It's just that, you know, sans rig, or with rig rather, just looks kind of I mean, I guess this would be a fine spot for the railgun, like deploy it right here. Alright, who do we got?
Oh shit, it's Doc. It's fucking Doc.
I have great news, guys. I have bad news and great news. Great news is I'm above 2k HP. Bad news, Morrison's not.
red.
I imagine anything.
I want to start red. I'm gonna start red.
At least the dog is chilling right now. It seems to be a pretty common occurrence in regards to. All right, whatever. You can have fun. It's probably that buggy cyborg.
Oh Lord, he coming! Oh Lord, he coming! He coming!
Yeah, it depends on the character you play, Captain, but yeah, some have it worse than others. Masked Man's a pretty big one. Essentially, whatever camera they use to align the ping didn't adjust when they adjusted the cameras for ADSing. I mean, the only thing that'd be better, Garrison, if he was playing Gunhead. See, we're fine. We don't worry about dog here. Perfectly safe.
I just don't remember, can he go on the breach or not?
I don't think so. Well, if he can, I guess we'll find out. We
Can't teleport.
we grabbed like 3 things, and like suddenly Eurasia's like, no, you're not allowed to do that. Deploys one of their special like infantry killing units, the grabber. For three scabby boys. Feels like a escalation of force, a misappropriate escalation of force.
To be fair, you didn't grab an entire picture album, though.
I didn't grab any of them. I purposely did not grab any of them. I have 2 uplinks. I grabbed 2 uplinks and triggered that. I guess that triggered them.
Yeah, without the question, they have like no purpose at all. They like worth like 16 credits maybe.
Oh, but you saw the pictures.
Yeah, they're very spicy pictures. You have to understand, finding a good magazine in the post-apocalypse is hard. They're not worth a lot, but they're actually worth a lot.
Worth enough to send a dog after us, apparently.
Alright, off we go. Michael, do you have railgun parts or no? Are we just missing one more person with railgun parts?
I have 4 of each part.
Okay, nice. So yeah, we just have one more person with parts.
Let's count for something.
It's a bit of a mismatch too, right? Like we have. It's one thing if we went to like a special area and picked up a few things, but we were like in Shantytown, right? Why is Shantytown so important? Alright, let's get rid of this stuff. And
Do we
good.
need a special mission or we just drop on some map with Big Boss?
So we can just drop on any map really. We don't even need to kill a boss either. It's just that we would probably prefer one. Thanks, Commander. I'm glad they're helpful.
I think maybe if we will carry all the parts, the map will trigger the spawn.
I mean, it's more. I don't think that's the case. I would be surprised if that's the case. But we just need to go to a certain map. Like any map with large units will work. I mean, if we see a special, it's one thing. But you know, we can just play and hopefully find one. There he goes, bugging out the dog again.
To appreciate the good things.
Okay. No problem, Ludroth. Alright, we have one slot open. Lobby is currently public.
Between him and
It's still
I.
public, right? Yeah, it's public. And I imagine, like, it definitely feels like I'm torn between, like, doing Ashen Mesa or Scorched Enclave. Mesa probably has better sightlines, though, in regards to actually shooting the railgun. There is, like, a failure chance on both, I feel. I don't think there's a map that actually has, like, a 100% chance of having a heavy unit on it, really. There is the Underground. I've heard anecdotal stories that the Grabber's hard to kill, though, with it. If even killable. Yeah, you need 3 people. Well, it's 3 people because only you can only carry 1 part. So, say for example, if we put this, so these take up large slots, but when you have one on your back, it locks you out from carrying any more. So you have to have 3 parts, essentially, or 3 people to actually build it. So, like, yeah, you need 3 people together. You can't individually carry it. Timeout bug, I'm guessing? Yeah, timeout bug. I was hoping that'd be fixed, but I guess not. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, co-op needs means to, like, I don't, being mostly a solo player, I don't have I have problems with the railgun, but it's not because it's a co-op requirement, right? Yeah, thankfully Friends List is making this easier to rejoin. But like, I don't have issues with content that's, I definitely think it raises the question, right, of like, is this a co-op game with optional single player or a single player game with optional co-op? If you have this half and half, it does this kind of thing, right, where it's too generalized and you don't cater to either crowd. It's one of those things where I don't feel like you can probably have like a half and half. I mean, if I get suddenly 100 friend requests, no, but like, to make joining lobbies easier, yes. If the intent is to add me to your friends list to join up on community stream days, that's one thing. But yeah, I don't have issues with that. I usually stay offline or invisible on Steam anyway. It's just for convenience sake today. I'm online on Steam.
Must take a moment to appreciate the good things.
All right, let's go. Let's go run a scrapyard real quick and murder things. Why not? The dog can't hurt us there, right? Yeah, we'll keep 45 too. Oh, no, we got Rage. Rage, do you have railgun part? I'll grab the big expensive thing. Wait, it's base, and I think, yeah, it's... Yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3, yeah. Let me actually,
Okay, which
let me actually do the base, actually, so I can figure out where to put it. Let me do the base. No railgun parts, you feeds! I guess we can just run it anyway. If someone with a real part in chat, though, railgun part chat wants to play, just let me know. But otherwise, we can just run it back. Michael and bullying the dog. That poor dog. But no, yeah, going back to the whole thing, it just... I'm not sure if you can half a half, like... For example, Helldivers is a co-op game that you can play single player in, but things are naturally tuned toward co-op as opposed to single player, right? So is this trying to be more like that, or is this trying to be its own, like, complete standalone experience? And you can still have, like, locked group content with a standalone experience, it's just that it becomes a balancing act, right? Like, if you put too much effort in regards to the co-op, it's gonna, you know, piss off single-player players, and then vice versa, right? And so making sure you have a kind of distinction in your game early seems fairly important.
Thinking, we can transfer railgun parts, but can we take one part on the map and transfer it on the map?
I can try that. I have extra parts, so let's go ahead and try. I'll bring the railgun turret, and we can try dropping it in scrapyard.
I took base.
So we can try giving this to Samsung and Rage. Alright.
I hate the surface.
So let me drop. Alright, yeah.
Rage, come here.
So yeah, Blue just got the railgun part now. That worked out pretty well. We can just leave, actually. I mean, there is LFG channels right on the Discord. So you can join the Discord and then do stuff on Discord for finding a group. Yeah, and like it's one thing too, right, Cronin? Because it requires different different design directions too, right?
One LG.
Especially if you're pressed for time or like if you're pressed for development time, definitely feels like it's gonna be a balancing act for sure. So Captain, they change daily at like, I want to say just GMT time. When it hits midnight GMT, the water costs re-roll, and they have a certain value they will re-roll to. It seems like they will trend up and trend downward occasionally. So there's degree of variance. It's not them doing it, it's just part of an algorithm probably, right? Alright, how we go?
Always a pleasure, folks.
Rage, distract.
We are currently full right now, actually. If you joined like 10 minutes ago, you would have been fine, but no, we just pulled up. This should be the first one with the railgun after this. We're just transferring parts. Yeah, I'm hesitant with RPG stuff. It's hard to... Alright, I'll grab the actual, I guess, ammo, since that's one of the parts you guys don't have. So bring the base, and when do you bring the turret? I'll bring the ammo.
Must take a moment.
Because I like, naturally the more the merrier and stuff like that, but it feels like bringing in, like, RPG aspects would be a cool way of differentiating the characters. But
Do
there's
bring extra parts?
you just need to bring one part. So we have everything, so we're good. We have the base, we have the railgun part, and then we have the actual ammo, so we're good. And I guess we'll do Action Mesa. We could try blasting the dog. I'd rather do this in the open first, and then blast the dog.
I'll try to bring extra ammo.
Okay. No, but like the inclusion of something without being properly fleshed out, it's probably not worth the merit. But if they were willing to actually like pursue including RPG aspects. So it would be neat. The dog's a bit fast, and it might be hard to hit. Especially considering how wily it is. I think I'm just waiting on you, Morrison.
Wait, I got an idea. What if I go bait the dog and you shoot the dog?
I think it's
in a straight line. The dog chase me in a straight line. You shoot in a straight line.
maybe I wouldn't. Let's not focus on that first though. We have extra parts for one more run after this. So let's focus on just doing like a generic run first, and not trying to do something that's kind of a stretch goal. Should probably bring some drills too, actually.
Shit.
Oh, we lost Morrison. Timed out. Hey, Nevius. I mean, naturally that would be nice, Cronin, but we have no idea. Like, we have no control over night shifts, right? So it's kind of a crapshoot. All right. We have. Wait, do I? Let me try the base. Okay, oh, we're good. Base. Okay. Sorry. I couldn't see it in my inventory. I was scared. Oh, there it is. I just couldn't see it. It was blended in. All right. So let's go.
The surface.
So do we go directly to the bunker, because it will be easier extraction in case of failure?
We want to get good sight lines, right? Where we were earlier wasn't a bad sight line either. Is there gonna be no mechs here today? That's gonna be fucking top kick.
Because earlier it was, I think they were shooting from the bunker.
They were doing it on the hill outside of bunker, yeah. But I think we shouldn't deploy them until we get a medium mech. We should probably just leave. Yeah, I mean, personally, I kind of was hoping that would, to have special units condensed down into just point-and-click adventure with special gun feels a bit derivative. Not derivative, that's the wrong word for it. It feels very simple to have these special units just be behind a certain gun wall feels a bit weird. That's a medium mech, right? Is it Rakig? I mean, I guess this works. Is it gonna die though?
Don't you dare, blasphemer.
I think you can just kill it with grenade launcher. Actually, we can just kill this like grenade launcher.
I mean, we're trying to test the railgun though, right? And this is a good railgun spot. But we don't have, like, it's not a rich environment with targets. I think we should probably wait for more, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's not an invincible target. It's not. There's no wow factor to this guy, you know? It's not like a dog or you.
I mean, we're not. If we're rolling for a dog or a mother, we're gonna be taking fucking forever.
Again, who has a ammo part?
I have the ammo part.
Everyone for themselves.
So it's base, then gun, then ammo.
Okay, because the rage is a bit far away from us, and no, he's here. Okay.
Well, I think we're gonna run it back. I don't think this is a good target, rich environment for us to use the railgun on. Yeah, Nevius, I've also seen the grabber codex too, so like it seems very hit or miss with the dog, right? I'd rather fuck with the dog later and use the railgun first. Could kill the go for the chopper. Well, let's not piss off the chopper either.
Hilo.
Thanks, Nasco. Appreciate it.
We can take one picture, bring it to the bunker, and trigger the dogs by redropping picture.
I mean, that's not guaranteed though, right? We don't, like, that's usually gonna end up being hunter killers as opposed to just the dog. Like I said, let's kill some medium mechs first.
Yeah, but if we'll have HKs, then we'll can just easily extract.
Yeah, like that's perfectly fair. I'd rather just not force a grabber immediately if that's can be fine. The grabber's like been reported multiple times to have issues with this and not easy to kill. Let's do something with the railgun first and then go for the hard target.
Always a pleasure, folks.
Maybe reroll on Scorch Enclave.
Enclave's a thought too. It doesn't have as good as sightlines really. We could go on top of the hill. Stairway doesn't have good sightlines though, right? It's got plenty of obstructions. There's that like you're shooting down to that middle area right with all the pillars around. I guess that's a good call actually. We can force Toothy to spawn. Out of
That was funny.
that's out of everything.
Yeah,
that is like the one thing we can actually force is Toothy. That's a good call, Nilo. We can't force mothers.
Oh yeah, we can assassinate the target.
All right, I got it. Target locked. On top, probably, yeah. Just make sure we will. The problem is having a backpack that can actually have enough slots. I guess I can bring this instead.
Oh yeah.
So let's bring ammo since we were using ammo before.
How many parts do you have, Kill?
I have 2 of each. Well, I have one of I think the actual gun now because I gave it one to I think one of you. All right, and.
Okay, just in case we can, in case of failure or a roll, I have like 4 of each.
Yeah, no worries. All right, we have our ammo, we have our meds, we have our jump, we have our thing, and we just bring some drills too. So Scorched Enclave, Graveyard. I'm gonna go ahead and say probably bring a pneumatic jump because I think we're gonna be going on top of the cliff area. So yeah, Nevius, on Discord someone posted a picture of having the grabber codex, so it seems possible. You take the 20mm turrets, the things that don't do anything because they're so floppy.
Shit.
All right.
I hate the surface.
So let's get Toothy to spawn. Alright, we're good. Up we go. Oh, it was a fucking chopper too, my god.
Alright, that people jump.
I can drop the chopper. Oh no, I think it will. It's colliding with its own rockets.
Maybe it'll kill itself. Hey, Blaster. I did say bring a jump. Rage, don't you have a jump? Yeah. I mean, we could. It's not probably worth the effort, but we could. Ray, just go over here, man. It's so much easier to do it from here.
No, Kill, give me your jump. Give me your jump.
There you go.
Fill those
I'm gonna give it to Samsung. You can, Blaster.
I got one slot, dude. I got one slot. I got one large slot. I'll stay down here. I'll beat them. Trust me. I'll beat them.
Well,
Take the jump. I took your part.
it feels good. I mean, it's early access, so it's it's still very rough. But like, if you like the aesthetic, it's fun. But if you're looking for a polished experience, give it some more time. All right, he's got the base. So Rage, you need to deploy the base. Ideally over here, so make sure we can pan down. I'm not sure how much diverse it has. All right, and now we need to do this part.
Trying to carefully extract the good stuff.
Yeah, Kill, pick up your jump.
Okay, so this is the railgun. Got 10 shots. It's a little floaty when ADSing. Alright, that's an effect. It's fast now. Did they change that?
Yeah, it's dropped. It's dropped.
Oh, it's dead. Okay. Alright, so 2-shot. It's 1 shot left when one of you wants to shoot it. Let's go drill, I guess, drill into Toothy.
Yeah, I guess it's not killed, it's just stunned.
Yeah, it's not killed. It doesn't do a good job of, I guess, relaying visually
But we still
that it's
can
stunned.
pick up stuff from him.
Is it only one part per group? Or is it multiple containers? Well, Blood, I have camera mode for that exact reason. Does it have like reactivate in raid? We are disabling a boss and looting it. The AI does not do very well with a disabled Toothy. I mean, Blood, keep in mind, it's a nanite, man. Like, that's the whole point of nanite.
It's done.
Is it just one? Really? Is it one container for the entire group? That seems kind of crazy. You make group content, but you make solo rewards? That seems a bit miss. Like, the way you reward group content is giving the group rewards.
I regret. Where am I? Oh.
Can you loot the container too, guys? Loot the container too. Maybe it's per person.
Maybe it will share when we...
Try looting the container, see if it's still empty. Yeah, Toothy is more of a special unit as opposed to a boss. Like, this is... Toothy's a model of unit. It's not necessarily a special. Like, it's special, but it's like not unique. Is it empty, Morrison, or no?
No, it's empty for us.
Okay. Yeah, that group content needs to be rewarded by like enough content for every person.
Ship done action down there. We should avoid.
All right, time to leave. So, for those unfamiliar,
So should we extract?
yeah, we should just extract. I mean, it's scorched on. Like, what else is there to do? Kind of in a way, but that means you also need 3 parts. Like, everyone needs to have 3 parts, which kind of makes the whole deal with the timer just more egregious. Also, holy shit, it's a fucking conga line. So you have to, like, make 3, yeah. I don't know, I have thoughts now. I wasn't exactly overwhelmed with the experience. It's also early access, too, but... I'm glad the railgun's fast now, though, if it wasn't fast before. I wonder if it wouldn't be better with just being like hit scan on target, right, and having a cool visual effect on target. Rule of cool, probably game shift.
Never do that again. Until the next time.
But like, there needs to be, if there's gonna be group content, there has to be group rewards, right? You kinda are locked into.
Oh, by the way, they fixed watching spectating part.
You're kind of locked into, yeah, doing 3 runs with 3 people, and then all of you having enough parts to do those 3 runs. If I recall correctly, like every single railgun's like 12 hours of crafting. So I mean, like 3 day, like a day and a half of crafting for one person to have enough railguns to run with everyone. Okay, now we, I think, go for broke here. Now that we have the basis. So, I'm gonna go ahead and say, if you do not have a character with above 2k HP, actually, we need to drop more parts for you guys, right? I can drop a base real quick. What, did you scrapyard again? When I drop one of you guys a base, I still have 1 more part for
We can
everything.
drop in the innards.
Yeah, we had to go over to scrapyard, that's correct, yeah. So we'll do a quick scrapyard real quick to facilitate some transferring of goods.
Okay, which part do you take?
I'm bringing a base for I'm bringing a base for someone.
Okay, I bring main part, base, main pipe, main railgun.
Let's do a quick run on scrapyard, and then I imagine we'll just go to, like, the best way of doing this is just going to cemetery, right? Alright. If we want to force a grabber, that's probably the best way of doing it. But no, conventionally, I always think of hit scan as... sorry, I always think of railguns being hit scan.
By the way, what
Alright,
did the Toothy dropped?
You dropped a codex, that's it. That's all they ever drop is a codex right now. And now it's worth a lot, and eventually it'll be used for something, but for right now it's just, yeah, just worth a lot of money, and that's about it. Just 1 codex.
So where did it like sort in which category?
It's under, like, loot area, basically. If you go to a vendor and try to sell, it's in there. Not yet. I mean, I think that's the case, Blood Panda.
Oh, okay.
They don't.
So we didn't have any. So I think like it's 1.
Yeah, just one. Yeah, it's all it ever gave you is one. Every unit just drops one codex. But yeah, that's the like, they haven't said that's the case, but it feels like that's the case, right? Codex giving lore feels pretty appropriate.
Oh, I think you need to check quests from Banka with codex. No?
Sorry, what?
Yeah, maybe you should check the Banco for new questions now that you have codex.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think it's in the game yet. They haven't mentioned that, like, how the codexes don't have functionality yet. I can check. There's no harm in it, but I don't think Codex has any, or he has any extra stuff behind that. Have they? Did they fix the floppy turret? Do we have a subject to shoot at?
No, I think they don't fix it.
I mean, if we have a drone around here, it'd be really easy to tell.
Yeah, finally I can spectate fine and switch between players.
Alright, there's a drone coming in. Let me pull you in.
It kind of looks strange.
Don't shoot it, don't shoot it. Let's see. I want to see if the drone kills it. No, Rage, no! It's so easy to test us out if they come hit the drone or come hit the turrets. Come on. You can do it, buddy. I believe in you. Come on, get around the corner.
Go to the other side so it unstuck.
Now there's runners too. Hold on, let me aggro these guys. No, they're still floppy. They're definitely they're still floppy. The forever floppy turrets.
It happens in turrets over the 40.
I have no idea, Cronin. I am not familiar with the XP glitch. All right. Time for a cemetery. Time for revenge.
It's funny that they removed grenades, but they left thrown grenades on the summary screen.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I need to do, right, is remove the functionality because it's buggy. All right, we have turret base here. I'll bring the turret base in. We're gonna go over to cemetery.
Wait. Why are you taking the base? They have...
Oh, they have a base? Okay. I'll take something else then. I'll bring, I guess, ammo. Alright, I have ammo. Samsung Smart Fridge has the actual gun. Now someone just needs to bring the base. We'll do pipes. Make sure you have a character with above 2k HP.
Maybe I'll bring extra jump.
I mean, we don't need to jump for this. We're doing cemetery. We're now going for the stretch goal of the grabber, right? All right, so we have all the parts now. We have all of this, yep, and we're good. Shaman Cat.
Easy for you to say, Mr. Over 2k of HP.
I did say multiple times to bring a character with over 2k, so if you die, it's on you. I mean,
At least I did.
The economy balancing is one thing, Darkstar, right? I would be much more concerned about the gameplay loop right now as opposed to the economics behind it. Is the gameplay loop engaging and worth doing? And should it even be the case in a game like this? Should it be that focus? Alright, so just literally deploy it right here. We know what to do.
Yeah, we have dog on the right.
Well, naturally it's gonna be here. This is why we came here, because we know the dog's gonna be here. Set up the railgun, boys. No worries. Who's got the base?
Where are we setting it up?
I think just right here, right? Because we can open the door and just shoot the dog.
There is 2 dogs.
Just like literally deploy it here. Just point blank the dog. Alright, he's got the gun. Alright, who wants to use the railgun this time? I've already used it once. It's someone else's turn.
Not me.
No one wants to fuck it up?
It's right behind the door.
Alright, man, I'll use it again if you guys don't want to. But, alright, open it. That's fair, lower ping, that's right, Nevius, that is true.
Should we start making noise to get it over here?
I mean, it will come over. Hold on.
Come here. Eat me.
There more dogs do spawn on this map. It will come back, don't worry.
There is 2 dogs on the right.
He coming now.
Just gotta be patient.
Kill. Do you want to kill the dog during my insta-kill animation?
Probably not. I'm afraid, just like a lot of stuff right now, it's gonna be invulnerable during the sync kill animation. Let it get up before you start murdering it, Samsung.
Do you think they fixed the cryo bug?
Probably not, no.
Probably not.
Is it even a bug too? Or is it just like, hey, yeah, your cold ammo gets warm over time?
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Oh, off one. No one saw anything. There's a little bit of like, you can see it too. There's a bit of, when you ADS with this gun, there's a bit of floatiness. It's not... There is like, I think designed input delay, right? It's weird because like this is not floaty, but this is. Like I can do this, like I can snap corners pretty easily here, but like snapping corners with here, you can see that there's like, there's a lot of like viscosity to it. I mean, that's perfectly fair. It's pathfinding's always bad. Also, I don't want to murder you guys. It would be fine if I had a clear sight picture. If you occasionally pop some bullets off, it will come.
Oh, it's coming.
Like it will do that as long as you let it. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, you can hey, you can see like that's 100% the case, right, Darkstar? Like even when you're moving it right now, you can see it's kind of floaty, but like. Yeah. Come on, dog. If you shoot the dog when it's coming up here, it's just gonna run away. Alright, that's what, 5 shots now? I wonder if it heals over time. So, Evangelist basically like Evangelist said that it gets up after you hit it, so maybe it heals over time, which would make this kind of mute or moot. Probably I'm looking for the word moot. I think we did miss 1 shot. So yeah, we've shot 5 times. We missed 1, so 4 hits so far. I like how I'm like, clear the site picture, please. And they're like, no, we're gonna stay above the staircase and keep the dog away. You fiends. Let the dog come up. Alright, it's down. Someone go loot it. Drill it, drill it.
It's down.
Drill it, drill it, drill it, drill it.
It's down.
Whoever has a drill. I got Toothy, someone get the grabber.
It's done. You can get done.
Yeah, who has a drill?
Ah, I forgot drill.
Did anyone bring a drill?
I do drill.
Did no one bring a drill?
Can I even drill?
Wait, is there even? Oh, actually, is there even a drill? Yeah, hold on. There's even a drill here. You're worth nothing. How did someone get your container though? Did someone cheat the game? Or did it spawn? So, maybe.
Maybe it's not down. Maybe we need to finish it.
Oh wait, hold on.
Is it?
You got tech cam? You got tech cam?
Is it in the ground? Did it spawn in the ground because it's clipping the wall?
You got tech cam?
I don't see anything.
Move.
I'm scanning
You
for
look
the...
under me. You look directly under me. Look directly under my foot.
No, there is like I think. Maybe.
Oh, electric boogaloo too.
So I shot it
Yeah, I think there is some container on the ground.
down below. Okay, might spawn below
I'm
it.
not sure.
So I shot it again and then it got back up. So I'm wondering if it was just glitched out when you shoot it again.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's tunnel.
Which they're not dead, right? They're disabled, but like I shot it again and it got back up. Yeah, the only reason I always say this is because I saw someone on Discord post the grabber, but this might not be the right spawn for this, right? Because this is a special grabber.
Maybe it'll be too busy with something else.
It could be the case.
Back again.
Oh, the UI's lying to me. We're out of ammo, actually. The UI lied to me. Can you put more ammo on this thing or no? I don't think you can, actually. Yeah, this is a special grabber variant, so like it could make the case that it doesn't have the same loot pool. I don't know. We can't pick it back up once we deploy it. My only other thought is maybe it's down here, but I feel like you would have saw that on the tac cam if that was the case.
Only have to be faster than the slowest human.
Alright, so the dog can die. Is it worth it? Probably
Rich,
not.
Do you have that cam? Can you give it to Kill?
No, I don't have that cam.
No, we're good. I believe everyone. It doesn't seem like it, Nevi or Daniel. I didn't see a user interface to actually reload it.
No, I think maybe it's accessible somehow.
I'll give you the tech cam.
I mean, I don't have a drill though, so. It spawned in the ground.
Okay.
So yeah, it's down there. It's just in the ground. So it spawned at its head. It looks like. And actually, is that even it, or is that's probably
Okay,
it?
now the main question: how I get to the extraction?
Yeah, it spawned down there. So the grabber did drop it. I guess it's just the map's glitchy. No codexes for anyone.
Ow, why me?
All right, time to leave, I guess.
Is there another good place for the baiting dog?
Why me again? What did I do?
Think about what you did. All right, let's go around. It's technically stuck on that catwalk now. Until it despawns and respawns somewhere. No, Daniel, we didn't try to kill Mom yet because it's RNG, right?
It'll be too busy.
There's no map where we can guarantee Mom. So the dog should be stuck up there now.
Right behind the door.
And of course it's spot.
There is no dukes, only Roskins.
Don't you do it. Heal. Rage, why are you so far behind?
Why is that too?
Come on, get in. Stay with the group.
Keep together.
Come on, Rage. Rage. Why did you lock yourself in?
Forrest, run!
All right, well, I can't save someone who doesn't want to live. Holding the door for Rage, he just closes the door himself.
Let me in!
What do you mean let you in? You just closed the door on yourself.
On accident!
All right, come on. I'll just go with.
Quickly, come in.
There's a fucking clown car of soldiers out here. Come on. Rage over here. All right, the gang's back together. I'm out of meds.
Do you need meds?
No, I mean I'll find some. Oh, hey, look, meds.
Oh, yeah, because somebody's out meds? No way.
Yeah, it's like I don't camp vendor resets. It's weird. Cause I think camping vendor resets is tacky as shit. Alright, good there. Now. I hate railing so much. Alright, time to leave. No, yeah, like the biggest thing I would say about group content, right, is you need to reward the group and not the individual, right? Otherwise, what's the fucking point? I mean, if your perspective is the reward is that you can finally get content you're not usually allowed to get, that's fine.
Day. Oof. Another reason.
Like, on one level, right, it's hard because for a traditional MMO, right, like WoW, when you would do this giant raid like Molten Core, only 2 to 3 items would drop per boss, right, before a 40-man raid. But that in a way was more about progression and slowing things down and making the raid redoable for everyone, right? Because you have to get gear for everyone, so that was part of the whole thing with those raids, is like, it wasn't about individual progression, it was about guild progression on a level, right? But once again, this is not an MMO, right? So why not just reward the group as opposed to the individual? Especially with content that kind of has friction to it, right? Like, there is real friction around getting people together in a game like this and then using the content, so it needs to be rewarding first and foremost, as opposed to almost anything else. But that was cool, though. I mean, the railgun's neat. I wouldn't say I'm blown away by it, but it's certainly neat.
Parts management. Which part do you have?
So I have my 2 parts I have left. I have a base and I have the turret weapon now. I don't have the ammo anymore.
I can't bring 2 parts at the same time.
Well, we really only need...
Maybe like 2 spawns?
Yeah, and neither of them have any parts, right? So we did this twice, I guess, to get one more part over. So I guess we just have to run it back twice real quick, unless one of you guys had that part already.
So I need to bring ammo.
Yeah, ammo, and then you'll have to bring something else too, right? Because I can't only bring one of my parts. Actually, what I can do this, right, is you can bring your ammo, I'll bring the railgun turret, and I'll bring the base for when we actually do it, right? So that works out?
And then you bring base.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
That's always just the factor of, like, yeah, there's always gonna be shitheads in a game like this. When there's no reason to RMT in a game like this, the only cheaters and griefers you're gonna find are people trying to troll you, right? So. But thankfully, like, lobbies are now opt-in, not opt-out. Alright, so quick run to scrapyard so we can drop off some parts to people who don't have parts. Alright, let me drop that. So that's for someone. Alright, both parts acquired. So I guess we'll do stairway next. And make sure we bring some drills too.
I think like stairway maybe not the best case because it's basically flat but slanted.
Zaku, I have the lowest of hopes for Marathon. And like, because Sony's owned by Bungie now, or sorry, Bungie's owned by Sony, I'm not, if Bungie was still independent, I would wish them like good luck and I hope they do well, but I'm not sure if I can say the same thing for a public company anymore. I have real reservations that Marathon's going to feel like a void, right? Like, the way I feel, like, Marathon's gonna be fun, but it's not going to have anything to keep players playing it. It's going to feel a bit hollow. So I don't have high hopes for it. Like, if anyone can pull off a game not feeling hollow, it's probably Bungie, but like, right now it feels very vapid. The old Bungie is long gone. That is 100% true, right? It's been kind of in this decay for a while now. But like, them selling out is... Selling out a necessity, right? They needed money, almost assuredly, right? They needed to be under publisher again. But at the same time, like, yeah, unfortunately, it's just what it is now. And that's kind of, Neil, that's true also. It just feels like we're on the tail end of extraction shooters. In a way, it's like kind of original WoW, right? You kind of need to find someone to reinvent the genre a little bit before you can get back into it. Alright, so I can bring the base. Not you. So base there. Bring a few extra meds. And then bring some drills too. So I have enough drills now. I have the base. And I guess I'd prefer if we start on the top of stairway, probably. So let's me Europa. Vendors, Grillo. Baby, I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Is it a good idea to bring something to drop for you?
I don't understand. I don't follow.
I mean, like some additional parts for future run.
I can only carry one, right? But at this point, I'm entirely gassed out, so it might be a lot of work to...
He wants to build a third railgun.
I mean, you can bring me more parts, but like at that point, right? Because I'm out of parts now. Essentially, after this, we would have to do a lot of runs to actually get parts across the team. We can keep doing it, but like, It might be more play and then drop parts and then organically do the railgun content as opposed to keep farming
I
it.
have like 3 sets of parts.
Yeah, but the friction becomes in, right, moving those parts between people. That's quite fair, Captain. I don't think Red Baron's a special unit, so no. They're just an exo. I mean, they're special, but like they're not like unkillable. Yeah, that's part of it too, Mr. Grooves. It doesn't feel like the game's doing anything novel for me, right? That's definitely an aspect of Marathon. It doesn't feel like special in any way. It's got a skin over it, but like that's it, right? But yeah, if you want to bring extra parts, you can, Morrison or Michael, and we'll just work on it as we play.
Okay. I'm just stuck on my loadout.
I mean, naturally, I can't actually say Nilo. I mean, you could certainly try killing Red Baron with a grenade launcher, though, but you don't need a railgun for that. It could be like sort of like the medium mechs, where you can kill the medium mechs for a codex. All right, let's go. I mean, Zaku, yeah, in a way, like I mean, that was probably the trade-off, right?
I'll give you additional parts to you, because you're most likely to survive.
I mean, we'll drop it later. Yeah, I'm currently carrying one right now. But no, in regards to Destiny and Bungie, right, and then Sony, I imagine like Bungie's been doing layoffs for a while before they got acquired by Sony, so it was more of like, yeah, we need the extra like security of a publisher with lots of money to make sure we can fund our ebbs and flows, right? Game development costs a lot, and you know, it's hard to develop a game and going massively into debt. Oh, we wouldn't see the mech spawn just yet, right? Or it's gonna be down here probably. There's a chopper, which hopefully we'll ignore. Let's get down here quickly.
Whittle them down and we can break out.
But yeah, the comfort of having a publisher with extra money in case you need it is nice, right? Like, think of it this way. Concord would never have gotten to $800 million spent if it wasn't for Sony. The investors or the people funding them would have called in their loans way before that. So in a way, it gives you just like kind of financial security to have a publisher, especially when you run into, you know, negatives. And naturally, the trade-off is they're going to have some influence on your monetization, right? You know, they give you money up front, and then they're like, when it comes time to monetize your game, we're going to do a few things. All right, is there an Orgamech here? Sometimes there's an Orgamech here. Looks like not the case, though. No friends. And no Orgamech, no Toothy, no Media Mech. Just unlucky.
No, I didn't see any Orga.
Yeah, we should just leave then. Run it back real quick. Yeah, I mean, I'm naturally biased, but I would love like a this war mine sort of vibe.
Picking parts works only on innards or...
Sorry, repeat that, please.
I mean, like, can you pick 2 parts of railgun on map?
I could probably pick it up actually, but I only have 1 slot right now. I was able to do it in raid earlier. I was able to pick up 2 parts. It's if you like the atmospheric vibe of games like that, this Warmind's very good. I would say it's aged well too. I think it's from 2-Bit, right? Same as Frostpunk. 2-Bit always does a good job with
Can you try
their
to pick up the
stories.
second part?
Hey, where's the exit? Did they change the exit for top stairway? I guess they did.
I see only 1 timed extraction.
That's new. A forced time extract at top of stairway. Not too much, Zaku. They're still in development. They added in this patch a co-op gameplay loop in regards to the railgun and killing special units. So that's the main thing. So, and it's still foundational. I would say none of the game feels anywhere polished yet. Everything needs work, but they're just kind of laying the foundation still. It's still a couple years off for sure. Yeah, stairway has a lot of issues.
Kill, try to pick up this part.
I only have 1 large item slot. It's full. Yeah, I'm surprised that's not fixed yet either. It's easy to like not notice it when you have a big rig, but yeah, smaller rigs you can notice it a lot. All right, time to leave. 30 seconds. Oh no, right. I misread. Oh, that's the distance. Ignore me. I was looking at the time here, or this right here, the 3. I was like, is that time? No. Okay. Ignoring the clock right in front of me on screen. What, Mr. Grooves? What grinds your gears? Neil, I'm surprised too. They opened up the Q&A channel and they closed it 2 weeks ago now. So I'm like, huh. Maybe they don't like the questions, or I don't know. But yeah, they closed it 2 weeks ago as of today, right? Maybe. Wait, are we gonna be riding drones? Or what? I don't feel safe. Is the premise that we're being extracted by drones?
I think they came for us.
Okay.
Pressing hard. Ooh. But at least we're headed home.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to assume too many things game shift.
That's new.
Because at the same time, right, like... I don't know, I just... There's definitely... I don't want to assume too much of their headspace, right, game shift, but... I don't know, it's weird. Alright, let's run it back. I can easily understand if we're seeing a lot right now and we're being very heavy with critiques and they're like, well, naturally we're not there yet, but like it's supposed to be like that. And so like, if that's their viewpoint, that's fair, but they need to understand that like, hey, you know, you need to be okay with ignoring that criticism for now, or like being forthcoming too, right? Like that's my whole thing. I like, if they were forthcoming...
Can you change the rig with the 1 slot extra?
Sure. It's not 1 slot extra, it's 2 slot extras. I mean, that's just how it's gonna be. but like,
You want me to bring both the base and the turret, or just one?
just bring one part.
Leave extra part in the innards.
Right, I'll leave the base in the innards then.
All right. But like, if they don't want to be forthcoming in regards to like their grand designs, that's fine. It's just like, yeah, it just requires so many assumptions of their headspace. I'm not that comfortable doing it. I can assume certain things. All in all I'll say is this: there's going to be always reasonable people and unreasonable people, right? And you need to be able to figure out or tune out the ones who are just naturally vitriolic and unreasonable. And it can be hard too, right? Because like, you do want to respond to criticism, right? I do the same thing in YouTube comments. I don't read all of them, but I do read quite a few of them, and you probably notice that I will respond to negative critiques that are actually constructive, but I will generally ignore or mute or just do anything to the ones who are negative for negative's sake, right? There's a fine line between negative on a critique standpoint, like you don't like something for X, Y, and Z, as opposed to just being derogatory and brutish and mean. So it does take quite a bit of effort to make sure like you engage with the negative critiques, but also, you know, ignore the ones that are just there to be not constructive.
We got a medium spawn at the back.
I'd rather not fight in here if we can. This place is oh, this is Rat King. We can.
It's coming down.
Yeah, we can ignore Rat King.
Wait, it's Rat King. It's Rat King.
Yeah, we can ignore Rat King. I mean,
No blast.
I definitely understand that game shift. It can be hurtful, but like at the same time, when I see a negative critique on a video of mine, if they're coming from a place I can understand, I'm generally pretty okay with it, right? Because it's a process of learning. And it does take a lot, right? I will say, yeah, when you're an artist and you like see something that you may get disliked, it's hard to like to respond to negative feedback. It can be hard, and some people do better than others. It's always try when I like. It's always when I try to when I critique things. Also, I do try and mix the good with the bad, right? I always don't want to be overly negative, or I try not to be, because sometimes if you're overly negative, it can get lost. Orgamech. Time to go point blank and Orgamech, guys. Ow. Has there been negative feedback around the skins? I don't think it's that negative, is it? Like, you're probably seeing the factor of, like... Hold on, let's find a better spot for this. I don't think that the skins are that negative, though, right? Like, naturally, there's gonna be some very, very aggressive people in regards to skins. That's always gonna be the case. But I don't think it's overwhelming.
Maybe on the roof?
I don't think we can get... Can we get on the roof easily here? I don't think so, right? Not without a jump, no. No, it doesn't work. Oh, what, how the fuck did I do that? Like, I don't mind the concept of skins. I'm not in love with two of them, but like, I don't mind that they exist. The only problem I'll say is getting the railgun out here. Oh well, we'll figure it out. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be the I mean, if you don't normal Steam and you don't normal like the internet vibe of the game or of the culture. Hold on.
No, it's okay. I'll glitch my way through.
3 shots.
Okay, question. Did someone bring the drill?
I did.
I think all of us bought the drill actually.
Okay, so yeah, it spawns near it. It doesn't spawn directly on top of it. Well, no, it's more in the sense of like if you haven't been up to date,
Oh, yeah.
Say for example, if you're a game developer, right, and you spend your time developing games and not reading Steam discussions or seeing the general internet vibe, if you don't immerse yourself in the cancer that is the internet right now, or the culture of the internet right now, it's points farming. It's like if you ever look at Steam discussions for a minute, right, it's a massive fucking joke. And so if you don't understand that and go to Steam discussions, you would see like all of these like just negative feedback, right? It's definitely cool. It's a bit clunky and like the rewards aren't there yet. I don't mind the concept. I kind of would prefer if it was hit scan with a massive effect on target. But that's naturally just more aesthetic preferences. I don't mind it right now. I would love to see more crew served guns though. Helio's turning around too. But no, like it's also the fact too of like considering not games like this per se, but just internet culture too. It's hard as a developer when you're looking for feedback on your game to actually get feedback that's not from a highly obsessive crowd, right? Like even us, for example, right? Like you can say that we're pretty obsessive to some degree because we're playing this game even in a lull. But like, think of a game like Marauders, right? Where a lot of the casual crowd left the game pretty early on because there wasn't much to do. And you really only leave the hardcore players in, or the players who have bought in a lot with the PvP. And so, in a way, the game's feedback becomes an echo chamber. And they could probably view that the case that like that could be a reason why they're not doing Q&As right now, for example, right? Is they kind of feel like the feedback they're currently getting is kind of echo chambery, and they don't really feel like there's merit in responding to such questions, right? I don't think so, Nil. I think it only drops it once. I also think the grabber's bugged. I think the grabber's not supposed to get back up after we shoot it. You can see it resetting occasionally too, right? It's weird. Yeah, Mr. Grooves, it is. That's a big aspect too, right? People would rather win the argument than be like objectively right, right? And people think people think there's strength in never backing down, right? And never coming with an objective viewpoint, right? They don't like, people want to feel like wholeheartedly like it. There's a degree of where any concession feels like, or any weakness seems to be a concession, right? Where if you acquiesce one point in your argument, that suddenly everything falls apart. Game Shift, that's kind of when my premise 2 comes, Game Shift, in the sense of that's why I'm more okay with very high level vibes as opposed to distinct systems, right? Like, if they answer questions in this perspective of what they're trying to accomplish as opposed to what they're trying to deliver, it's different, right? Like, saying you want to, you know, push out some gameplay feature on X date, you can miss that, right? But if you're trying to say that you're gonna, like, accomplish certain vibes, that's a different thing entirely. Morrison, you drop a part? Did you bring an extra part for me to drop, or did someone else get it?
I got it.
Rich, pick up.
Okay.
Who picked up last time? Rich, was it you?
Yeah, I don't think the skins is a big issue, right? I think any...
Yeah, I got the railgun turret.
For the people...
Yeah, I think you need to drop because other people need extra.
I think I'm out of parts right now.
Because you already have one in the inners, yes?
I think at a certain degree, Mr. Grooves, the people who, like, there might be some people actually critiquing skins. There's a lot of people, though, just looking for something to base their... Let's say, for example, person Y doesn't like you for X reason, right? Say, for example, this person doesn't like you because of...
Pick up.
Okay. Let's say this person doesn't like you because of X reason. Like, say, for example, say, for example, you express your political beliefs and someone doesn't like you, but naturally, they don't want to say that because it makes them look bad. So, as opposed to that, they're going to try and find the first area where you slip up and make that the cornerstone of why you're a bad person. And the politics is an example of this, right? In the sense of they might not like you for something, but they need to find something else to actually base their hate in, or rather, publicly present their hate in. And so, like, it's not necessarily that they don't like the skins; it's that they don't like the game, but they can't say why because it would get them gestured, right? Or rather, it's not as definitive, right? It's not as clickbaity. Because anyone can imagine, like, in an offline game like this where you can mod skins in, who the fuck gives a shit about paid skins? It's been like the most, like, I'm looking for the right word. It's not humane, but I'm gonna say humane for it. It's the most humane of putting micros in your game, right? It doesn't affect gameplay at all, except for, I guess, vibe, but like it's on your own volition to use it or not. Like, if you want to install Mother Courage skin, you can go to the ModDB and do that right now if you wanted to. Okay, what parts do I have for the railgun? I think I have just that one part, right? Yeah, just the turret. Let's go over to Mesa and see if we can get lucky there. Because we've done every map so far. We haven't done Mesa yet. That's like one of the maps we haven't done yet. So I have the turret. We need ammo and then the...
So everyone have one part only, yeah?
I have the turret. We need a base, then we need ammo.
I got base.
So if we can bring ammo, then we're good?
Rage?
I think Rage doesn't have anything.
Yeah, and there's always a degree, too, of game shift, of just, like, projection, right? Projection's, like, people's favorite hobby.
I got no part.
In a culture where you're not allowed to admit you're sad, especially as a male, people project all the time.
Okay, I took ammo. But I can't bring any extra.
Yeah, we have all the parts. I have a drill, we have ammo, we have meds, we have the base, we have the turret, we have the ammo. So we're good across the board here. And we'll do Mesa. Yeah, it does require, in a way, it is just kind of the era we're living in. I'm gonna get ever so slightly into politics, but it's not current politics. So do not bring it to current day. We're talking about the 90s and early 2000s. So No Child Left Behind kind of made, in a way, No Child Left Behind, it sounds good, right? Because you want to make sure everyone gets through school, but the adverse side effect of No Child Left Behind is you teach how to pass tests. You reinforce passing tests. You don't actually teach learning. You're not teaching the kids to learn on their own. You're not teaching them critical thinking. You're teaching them how to pass a test. And passing a test is going to eventually promote the wrong things in higher society, right? It points into the way and how you live your life and get ahead is not through learning things, not through engaging with things, but learning the right answers for A, B, C, and D on a test. That is the failure of No Child Left Behind. That's an American thing. It's from Bush Jr. And like, I'm not saying it was malicious too, right? I'm not saying the people who made the bill had bad intentions at heart, but it's just like, if you reinforce a certain outcome, naturally there's going to be perversions of how people get to that outcome. And the path of least resistance, right?
I can't see any big boys.
There might be some over here, but we might go over to the other area. This is 2 for 2 for me, so not having any big things on it. That's, you know, so unfortunate.
No, I mean with scanner.
Oh yeah, but they might spawn later too. We can always go over to bunker also, and sometimes medium mechs will spawn here. But like, in a way, people, it's the same thing with college, right? People are under the impression that like, you need to go to college to get a good job. And it's just, and because of that, right, everything becomes about getting to college. It's a failure on the society on so many different levels, right? And in a way, it requires like kind of the changing on the very base of how things work. School should be about teaching kids how to critically engage with material and learn and think, especially at the foundational levels of elementary school, right? It shouldn't be about just learning how to pass a test. Like there needs to be classes that are solely based around learning how to learn. Especially with the internet too nowadays, right? Like with so much material on the internet.
Try the picture trigger.
There's a 1 in 3 chance or 1 in 4 chance we get a grabber, something we actually want to kill. I guess it's 2 in 4. I mean, do we care about Orgamex, right? Are we going for a mother? I guess is that the question we should ask, right? Right, Morrison, are we going here to try to get a mother, or are we trying to get another Orgamex or grabber?
No, I mean, because if it's anything but grabber, we can just escape it easily.
But I'm saying, like, even if it's a grabber, do we want to kill it? Do we want to save ourselves for a mother?
Oh, I mean, like, it's bugged. I think maybe we should try to kill it again in cemetery.
I wouldn't do cemetery. Cemetery clearly has issues. It really is, right? Like, critical thinking is how you need to approach everything, because it's how you process information, right? And because like they were taught the way to process information is A, B, C, and D, which one's right. They learned how to take tests, right? But like, real life is not going to present problems to you with A, B, C, and D. And personally too, like taking tests when I was before the full weight of No Child Left Behind, right? When I was a kid, I didn't really like open-ended questions, but open-ended questions are really important, right? Well, it's more with the you've been enjoying that too. The basis that where I reference No Child Left Behind and critical thinking, it's more of just how you engage with things in a balanced way, right? It's how you engage with material and like critique it and then not, and like it's how you actually figure out like what's going on, right? And in a way, too, critical thinking also invites discussions that's not... Much like binary, like Mr. Grooves is kind of memeing, right? A, B, and C, and D, right? When you say A, B, C, and D, and you're wrong, it's not a question of why you're wrong. It's just a question of you're wrong.
Take extra part.
Okay. So, like... When a teacher reviews an open-ended question, right, they'll usually say their perspective on why you're wrong or when you lost points, right? And, like, you can go talk with your teacher about that and have an actual discussion, right? And that discussion can provide a lot of learning in regards to their viewpoint, your viewpoint, why you think your point was right, why you they think your point was wrong, so on and so forth, right? But when it's A, B, C, and D, it doesn't invite that discussion. It's just that the correct answer was this, the rest were wrong. There's no nuance with A, B, C, and D. All right, let me put one of these parts back. So do we want to try and...
I will let someone.
Let's kill mom.
Okay, so we need to force mom to spawn. We lost, I think, Samsung? Yeah, we lost Samsung. I have the turret. We need the base on Rage, I think. So we need the base and we need the ammo. Yeah, but Atu, in that way, right? Like, you know, for example, when your entire when your entire education before college is like standardized tests of A, B, C, and D, it kind of reinforces the notion of like when you're going from like being a kindergartner all the way to 12th grade, and the only thing you've ever experienced during that entire time is A, B, C, and D questions because of standardized testing and No Child Left Behind. You aren't taught how to like actually do things like that, right? You're always taught there's one correct answer to everything. Everything else is worthless. Oh, unrunning crash, okay.
Okay, which part do you have?
I have the turret on. He has the base on, so we need the ammo. When you guys need the ammo?
No, I mean backup part, extra part. Which one do you have?
I have an extra ammo. We have two bases then?
Okay, Rage, what part do you have? No, my sole purpose is bringing extra.
I mean, so you have to teach it, right? It's a foundational level thing, right? Like it's something that requires the laws to change. No child to go die in a hole it's supposed to die in, and like it needs teaching for teaching's sake, right?
No, I have all the parts, but I think Rage had some part.
I don't think so, because Rachel's not putting anything on right now. He might be AFK though.
Reiji doesn't have anything. I'm trying to get water right now, real quick. BRB.
All right, yeah. So just bring the ammo.
I'm taking the ammo then.
All right. So for mom, we're probably. I mean, it's a crapshoot, right? It's probably just better to run Asher Mesa back over and over again. Though I will say, Scorch probably seems a bit better.
Yeah, I think we will need to reroll for night.
Well, naturally we'll have to reroll for night, but the question is, we're better off doing Scorch constantly or Mesa constantly? Scorch has the plus side where I think it's guaranteed a mom. I think there are iterations of Ash and Mesa and Night Shift that we don't see a mom, so we're probably better off on Scorched. You can occasionally...
I think with Ashen, it's less visibility at night.
No, Ashen, remember, it's clips. You can see really well on Ashen Eclipse Day, or Night Shift, rather. The only problem with Ashen Eclipse Night Shift is the mother spawn isn't guaranteed. It's sometimes a grabber instead. Yeah, Scorched Enclave, I think, is a guaranteed mother on night shifts. It's not guaranteed on Mesa. At least not single player. Yeah, it's important to keep in mind, too, like, the only political aspect we're bringing up is a bill from 2000. Outside of that, this is not a political discussion. This is more about, like, education. And you can politicize that if you want, but, like, that's probably part of why education's doing so bad right now. Alright. Cemetery and good. If you want to be partisan about teaching your kids how to learn and engage with material, fuck off, genuinely. I don't have kids, but like genuinely, it feels like you rob children of agency when you don't give them choice like that, when you don't teach them how to engage with material.
So do we extract?
Yeah, just extract. We're looking for night shifts and moms. In a way,
Looking for MILFs.
it would never fucking happen.
Okay, Rage or Samsung, wait on extraction point for me to drop you extra parts.
It would never happen, but in a way, philosophy should be taught in regards to like philosophy. The basics of philosophy should be taught in elementary school, I think, or middle school, right? Maybe middle school, but like it's hard, right? Because there's a trade-off of it's easy to critique, right? In the sense of how does philosophy get my child a job? Why are you teaching my child to think? And it's not teaching your child to think, it's teaching your child how to think in the sense of the basic foundations of how to understand things, right? It's not trying to indoctrinate your kid, it's just trying to get your kid to engage with materials. Neil, I would say let's steer away from rhetoric like that just because of it invites in current politics too much, and we're trying to remain apolitical here. In a way, it's one of the issues, right? Is that like there are so many hot button topics that if I bring it up, it will immediately become politicalized, right? Like in the sense of we're not talking about left or right, we're talking about how to engage children and let them have the tools proper for learning, right? If that learning takes them to one side or the other, I don't give a shit, but give them the tools to learn.
Rage, wait.
Because in a way, it feels like you're robbing children of your agency when they don't get that, right? And naturally, like there's always the balance between nature and nurture. It's not just one or the other, it's both in tandem. And so when like there's nothing malicious, there's nothing left or right in the sense of, oh no, if we educate kids, they're gonna go one way or the other. They're gonna be predisposed to that, but let them actually get the right tools to engage with that meaningfully. To a degree, Mobius, there's always that like trend too, right? The theories around like they don't want you to actually think, they just want you to be a good worker. I mean, like, and this shouldn't be political either, though.
Okay.
On the grand scheme of things.
You will pick up, okay?
Sorry, what was that? We have the base, we have the ammo, we have everything, so we're good here. So yeah, we're good.
I bring extra ammo for Samsung to pick up.
Okay. All right, we're good. Looking for a night shift on Scorched Enclave. Yes, it's very well. That's also like every bill, Mr. Grooves, right? Every bill, like the people spend more time naming the bills than they actually making the bills. You have like the poor secretary that comes up with the bill, and like the congressman just like, I'm gonna stamp a cool name on that and call it mine. To the extract. We're looking for mothers only.
This is it. We decide what happens next.
I mean, I can definitely understand why we're not allowed to carry all the parts considering how big the fucking railgun is. It's actually, I'm surprised we're not like a turtle right now stuck on our back, considering how large this thing is.
Bagman could carry it.
Oh, probably 100%. Bagman's a swole boy.
Yeah, and also I thought about the idea that why you can't transfer parts.
They just
because I think it's more like if
I think it's just early iteration, right? They just haven't had time to do that yet. I'm sure they'll provide just like water, a way to transfer materials like this.
No, I mean, like, I think it will be something like one
There's always that factor too, right?
person
Too.
like grind
Of
parts and
understanding,
then,
like-
transfer it. Samsung. I
You're good? Okay. I'm sure you guys understand, like, the way I frame my videos, right, and the way I just generally talk, I'm fairly pessimistic, but always slightly hopeful, right? I lean toward pessimism, but I always keep a note of hopefulness, right? But, like, as I've gotten older, I have understood, like, there are just bad actors in the world, right? There are people who are naturally going to be your sociopaths and, like, psychopaths, right? So it's always important to figure out, or try and figure out, who you're dealing with when talking to people, right? Because sometimes it's easy to mistake them, right, for like that, and sometimes they're not, sometimes they are. But essentially there are plenty, like, there's always going to be a few people where you cannot rationalize with them, you cannot engage with them, and you have to frame what they're doing as malicious. At least toward, you know, a wider audience. Alright, run it back.
We gonna get the moms this time.
We will get the bombs eventually. It does feel like they've upped night shift a little bit here. Like, it seems like they're more common than the last patch.
I prayed.
Yeah, the reality is, reality is always nuanced, and when you look at things objective, like, when you look at things, right, there's always negatives, right? There's always why. Very rarely in real life is there a solution that benefits all. And so very much it always becomes, like, not pure utilitarianism, where it's just, like, the greatest good for the great amount of people, but, like, it's always a framing of that, right? There's always nuance to that phrase, but, like, in situations, but for the most part, society on a whole is always, at least democracies are going to point toward that, right? No helicopter, no. Oh, fuck me.
Leave me alone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me.
This was a bad time to pick up explosives.
Why me? Why? Why is it always me? What you do?
I hate the helicopter so fucking much. Rage, 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 rage!
The rest is killed. How you rest me? I got 8 seconds. 7 seconds.
Don't you tell me that you're all down.
I mean, most of us are down. Because a helicopter does helicopter things.
Dang.
Who would win?
Chopper decided to get freaky.
Are you picking up any of us? I don't see the UI for picking us up. There we go, there's one. We're just probably gonna die though. Can I pick up his parts though at least? I can. I got his parts at least. Well, let's fucking leave before the chopper gets us. I got his parts. Isn't the chopper fun?
Pick this one also because I have full stock. Can you pick up?
I can. Oh, I can't actually. I can only hold 2. That seems arbitrary. I can only pick up 2. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, there's a...
Spread.
What did we do to deserve this? Like, why is the chopper picking us? Like, we did nothing. We're literally running through the map. I hate the chopper so fucking much.
Kills down.
I mean-
Chopper's on you. Chopper's on you. I don't think can rest him when the chopper's on you.
I mean, it's just in the sense of, like, why is it focusing on us scavengers when there should be plenty of targets for around to kill? It's so obnoxious. Well, we're definitely out of parts now.
That auger? Crazy, dude.
It's they tuned it down, I think, a bit in the hotfix, but no, it seems like it notices you a lot more than it notices actual other NPCs that are fighting.
Why would you run in open space?
I mean, it's just a chopper. It's RNG, dude. The chopper's been RNG since the fucking patch the entire time. Also, the chopper doesn't path over there. The chopper usually passes the middle of the map. I mean,
Okay,
Commander, if that was the case specifically, yeah, but it's just generally how it works.
3 bases and 2 railguns.
Sorry, what? Leo, we've been doing that the entire day. Yeah, Leo, we've been doing it for a while.
3 bases and 2 railguns. I don't have any ammo.
Yeah, so we're done here. Yeah, we've used the railgun for a bit, and it's done. It's perfectly fine. My next part's gonna be a while. Like, we had our fun with the railgun, it's perfectly fine. Wasn't I making one of you? Whatever.
What extra parts do you have?
I don't have any, I'm out. I had 2 sets to begin with, and we've been running off you for the longest time now.
You full out?
Yeah, I'm full out. I only had 2 sets. We've been going off your supply for a while now. All in all, I would say the main culprit here is the optional night shifts, right? Or rather, the no control over night shifts. Alright, let's do a swamp. We haven't done a swamp all day. Feeling a little swampy. Yeah.
Yeah, I can go offline and speedrun my block and get 1 more set.
I mean, if you really want to, you can. I wouldn't worry about it all that much. It's not just the railgun stream. We've had plenty of railguns so far. If you want to, feel free. I wouldn't say it's necessary. We don't only have to play railgun memes the entire time. But if you want to, certainly feel free.
Yeah, I think like one more run will be good enough. I'll go offline for maybe 15 minutes.
Sure, just pop back in whenever you're ready. Otherwise, we'll play for some swamp. What, like the sun, Mr. Grooves? No, or a wristwatch? A clock? In the grim dark future of the Winter, there are no clocks.
I hate the surface.
No, I mean, it just... Yeah, I just don't... It just... Yeah. It shouldn't be, like... When there's certain gameplay locked behind going on to night shifts, it feels like, it shouldn't be RNG. Those are your Ruskins, that won't work. They need to have the actual tag for your Asian, and these don't, they have your Ruskin tags. There'll be plenty at the actual injector site. In a weird way, Blood Panda, you were actually right, there are too many clocks. Too many clocks focused on your actual IRL clock. Vendors, go off your computer's clock. Crafting, off your computer's clock. Everything, off your computer's clock. Oh, Bass Man paid. Yeah, it's... Whenever they do something with the... like, every time I give feedback, I always try to base it around the IRL clock and how it should just be removed from the game. Nevius, yes. So like that's the perk of the IRL clock, or the gaminess of it. If you really do not want to wait, you can go just fast forward your computer's clock and it will craft. The glories of the IRL clock. All right, here's your Eurasians. There are so many different ways of doing Commander. I can't fault any of them because they're all better than, like, I personally have a preference toward mine, as naturally I would, but literally there are so many different solutions over an IRL clock that are just better. I might love some more than others, but like any of them are better than a game based off an IRL clock. I have a friend for you. Udroth, Samsung, I have a friend for you. You said you need to kill your Asians. Did you just shoot at me randomly?
I think he's dead.
Oh, did you get him? Nice. There'll be plenty over here too. I mean, I think trying to get Rat King's favor is foolhardy. Has Rat King ever answered your prayers, John? Have you ever had prayers answered by Rat King? I need to bring drills more often. I see, what I really want though is I want an offhand drill. I don't want to bring item drills, I want to bring weapon drill. He cooked you dinner once? What did he make? What did Rat King make for you? Rat King made you rats? That feels like kind of cannibalism, doesn't it? I honestly, in a way, Michael, like that, or just like a weapon, like a drill for an offhand, just to like do things with, right? Like drill into containers, drill units, just drill anything, right? Or saw off anything. Ratatouille. It's like literally anything. So I don't really care about a weapon offhand, right? I'm always like, there's a reason. Why do you have a surplus shotgun? Because I don't plan on using it. I don't care about, like, if I bring a weapon and I want to use that weapon, right? I don't want to have an offhand. Or I don't care about my offhand generally. The offhand's supposed to fulfill a niche that my main cannot do, right? And so, like, when I bring a grenade launcher, or like when I bring a sniper rifle, that's fulfilling a niche that I'm not currently doing right now. So like, if I'm only trying to shoot things, and that's it, I generally don't use my offhand, but like having the ability to have a more utilitarian offhand would be awesome. I don't know, Cronin. I don't know. Alright, let me drill into this one. By the way, I do really like... Now, the loot here might be lackluster, but like, this... The train as a concept of a loot area is really cool. And I, like... If they bumped up the security, I would not mind if they made these a lot more profitable or interesting to loot. Like, right now it's kind of lame because it's like, you open up this giant container and you get one crate. But it would be nice to have maybe bespoke crates inside of here you can actually loot. And have it be like a high-risk, high-reward area. The whole concept of coming here and drilling into things, like, conceptually, if I had an offhand drill, right, coming here and then drilling into these, like, cargo containers, looting them, is, like, peak scav gameplay, right? They added in they added in the rest of these containers for the quests of Bunko, and I like the concept a lot. It's really fucking cool. It kind of just feels like something not fully realized, though, too. I hope they do more with the concept, right? It's really cool, just not rewarding enough, or it needs to be more tailored to be bespoke. Opening up container and just finding one loot container inside is kind of lame. But it probably needs to be its own container for volume, right? Yeah, the loot right now is kind of lame. I do kind of agree with you, Novel. The most of the loot pool being like weapon mods is, and like other shit like that is just kind of There's nothing like, for example, like, the codexes are nice though in that regard, right? In regards to providing a chase item, but there's nothing like, for example, LEDXs. Yeah, we need less like generic like boilerplate slash fillery loot like weapon mods, and actually more like loot in regards to just neat shit, right? And like, we're very far away from an item rework, but I don't know. Yeah, the devs, they hear this. Oh, we heard you. We added in 10 more objects. You son of a bitch. Though it does, so far it seems like we're getting, they've showed off 2 new guns in regards to the trailers. They showed off the Krink, which is the AK-74U, and they showed off, I think, some Korean variant of the M4. I'm not too knowledgeable about the Korean firearms industry in regards to what gun it is specifically, but like, it apparently is like a variant of the M16 for Korea, or the M4 for Korea. All right, probably time to skedaddle here. Leave me alone. No, for sure. Like, that's kind of like what I want, like, on this war of mine, like, vibe, right, ST? It doesn't need to be a fully fledged city builder, but like having some degrees of management would be kind of interesting. And I think it invites a lot of roguelike progression to it too. Yeah, no, Mr. Grooves, I think you're misunderstanding, right? It's you're thinking of survival, I think of like traditional survival games, like in the current day and age. It's not like that. Think more of, what's a way? I mean, if you're familiar with Tarkov, right, it's much more similar to the hideout in Tarkov as opposed to a survival game. There's certainly a balance, Mr. Grooves. I personally, in a way, find how you introduce a meaningful cyclical endgame without some degree of like higher, more meta progression, right? So it's not about customizing or building your base. It's not like a Rust game. It's more about just doing upgrades and like, you know, yeah, if you look up like This War of Mine, look up for gameplay of This War of Mine, it's more along the lines of that, I would think, right? There's definitely like resources, but it's not anywhere close to a city builder. Chernobyl, definitely leans toward, in a way, Chernobylite's a good example of what I'm like thinking of. I think Chernobylite had a bit too much friction though. Like, I didn't play it all that much. I maybe have like 10-15 hours in it, but like Chernobylite felt a bit too much. All right, I'm leaving. I have my jet. If you need more cyborgs, feel free, but I'll watch you guys kill cyborgs. As with all things, right, it's a degree of balance. Yeah, and this, I kind of feel the same way about Chernobylite, right, in the sense of I wanted to like it.
Where's zombie? I need zombie.
I actually don't like, I mean, like, Stalker 2 was fine. I think, I'm not a big fan of Stalker 2, to be honest.
Zombie. We need zombie. Boom.
On a whole, right, I can play like Stalker 1 and Call of Pripyat by itself without mods and have an enjoyable experience and get to the campaign.
Ciao.
I don't think I would ever play Stalker 2 again without mods.
Need like 3 more. Where's zombie? Where's zombie? Mini zombie.
I mean, Mr. Grooves, I mean, that's a fair critique, but it's also an RPG, right? Like, it's perfectly fine that an RPG exists for you in that nature, but like, critiquing the genre as a whole for like almost feeling like I don't want character progression and like, well, rather like not meta character progression, but character progression in regards to writing in my RPGs feels kind of not the general trend. Like, it seems to be one of the work that seems to be the calling card of RPGs, right? I'm guessing if you want a more traditional RPG in the sense of you want mechanical RPG but not story RPG, that's fair. But I can't really fault the genre, for example, of leaning into like, you know, having characters having emotions. Yeah, I would say, Velix, it's not... The problem I have with Stalker 2, it's almost more foundational.
You think I sprayed the injection well? You think there's zombies there? Oh wait, I see one. Zombie.
In a way, it's foundational in nature, right? It's not something you can fix with, I think, patches. You probably could eventually, but it requires so much work and I think extra technology on top of it, right? In essence, my core complaint about Stalker 2 is that it shouldn't have been open world. They bit off way more than they could possibly chew with an open world. Their open world feels empty. I like the stinking Stalker too. If it was jank, I wouldn't mind it. It's the fact that it feels mostly empty. I do not enjoy walking around an empty world just to walk around. If I want to go play a walking simulator, I'll go play one. They're very well tailored and paced because they know they're a walking simulator. Stalker 2 is a walking simulator that doesn't realize it's one, and so it's paced terribly. Stalker 2 never considered, it feels like, and that, preface this, naturally what's going on in Ukraine is terrible, and like, they don't have the leeway of having, you know, endless resources, right? So that's part of the factor. Like, I am not angry with the developers for, like, you know, I'm not angry at the developers. It's just, unfortunately, Stalker 2 missed for me. Well, Neil, also, in a way, it's because the OG Stalkers 2 kept the scope of their game smaller, right? They didn't try to do a full open world. Granted, the technology of the game at the time couldn't do that. But, like, the constraints of the technology of Stalker 1 and that series of games off Stalker 1 kind of forced them to be clever with A-Life and the maps they made, right? The tailored experiences, the tailored open worlds in that setting were, like, very nice. They all had, like, a landscape. They all had a certain vibe to them. They all were, like, very well-designed areas. Like, there wasn't a lot of extra clutter. But unfortunately, with the open world in Stalker 2, there is just so much dead space that just is a void. And the scripted content that happens in those voids, the random scripted content, gets old after you see the same thing twice. The original Stalker, yes, it does a great job making the world feel very big without having a lot of space. Stalker 2 has a lot of filler. It's not malicious filler, though. It's just that they wanted to create an open world, right, but didn't have time or the means to populate it, right? So, on a way, it's foundational, like, on the game design level at the very starting board, right? In the sense of, do we have the resources to make a game that thorough? Just the two of us. The original Stalker games, there was a lot of backtracking in them, and there was a lot of sense of discovery in them, and like there was like, I'm not saying Stalker 1 was a perfect game, but there's a reason why it's a cult classic, right? It did a lot of things excellently. It was incredibly well paced, and it never felt like an area. Every area of Stalker 1 felt like it had a purpose, and I cannot say the same for Stalker 2. All right. I imagine Michael is still crafting. Stalker 1 isn't that hard. Stalker 1 is a gimmick in the sense of, so the original Stalker, right, Stalker 1, it's really hard until you get an accurate gun. And once you get an accurate gun in Stalker 1, you are god tier. Like, the difficulty of Stalker 1 is the early game guns and how inaccurate they are and consistently performing headshots. Stalker 1 had a lot of inaccuracy or bloom to your shot when you were shooting with a bad gun. But once you got your first accurate gun, it was literally just popping heads. Like, if you actually, like, do the content in a proper order and get yourself good gear, like an exosuit, or not even an exosuit, just like a SIVA, and like a G36, or just any gun that's actually accurate, you can just blow through the endgame with headshots. Now, naturally, the mods do a lot to help that, but, like, Stalker 1 is a difficult game, but it's gimmicky in the sense of, it's this wall until you get over the wall, and then it's just free. Alright, let's just make trench. Mech trench. Yeah, in a way, Nilo, yeah, Stalker was popular for the atmosphere of the game feeling alive. It was a vibe, right? The gameplay, the gunplay was passable. It was always about the lore and the vibe of the game, right? It was for its time, it was incredibly atmospheric. And it still is to this day, too. Like, few games actually get to that level of atmosphere. It was a game where you could overlook the shit gameplay, or the mediocre gameplay, because of how it pulled you in. Why, Seven, we've been using the railgun all day. Where you joined the stream when we weren't. We're basically now gassed out of parts. We use it for like 3 or 4 raids. So yeah, if you want to see the railgun stuff, it's earlier in the stream. Michael might be bringing more parts later, but we'll cross that bridge if we get there. What's underwhelming, Blood? I have played Metro games. I enjoy the Metro games. They're very cool, atmospheric. I would say Metro is one of those games where I'm okay with playing through it once, but there's only so many times where you can beat me over the head with the moral stick before I get old of it, right? Oh yeah, the railgun, it was novel. Like, I'm not like overwhelmed with it. It's serviceable for now. It doesn't have that oomph to it, right? Of this super powerful gun. It does kind of just whelm. It doesn't underwhelm, it doesn't overwhelm, it just whelms me. But no. In regards to Metro's a really cool experience. It's like got a very cool gameplay loop in regards to like how it paces you in like survival / shooter.
Oh my god, is that not a dead body?
And the way the atmosphere of it's nice, right? The bullet economy is really cool too. The problem with I have a Metro, I would never play it again because it's just, I like moral dilemmas in games, but like Metro is the black and white beat you over the head with the good and bad stick, and that's fine for a playthrough, but like playing it again with that knowledge just feels just like ugh. You can drop parts. We have to go into raid and drop parts to each other. But yeah, if you haven't used the railgun yet and you want to use the railgun, you can come join. Let me go pull. Let's pull plug. Yes, the floppy turret bullets. I mean, yeah, we're missing them being like, it's almost certainly going to be lore pages. Now, I will say, if they lock lore pages behind co-op content and let you have no ways of acquiring it outside of co-op content, English is fucking hard. People are gonna get upset, and I can't blame them. If they lock lore pages behind co-op content, there's gonna be, I think, anger and feedback, and I can't blame them. Like, there's certainly content right now that I don't mind. You can just join me once I get back in the public lobby. We'll wait for you. Yeah, John, but like, that's a degree of friction, right? Of if you're asking solo players to go install third-party shit to enjoy the game that they bought from you, like, if you want to lock content behind group content, it should be further stuff to, you know, promote group content. Like, if you want to have progression through for your group content, have the things you kill drop parts for more group content. You contain the loop within themselves, right? But because those lore pages are something that solo players would want also, Do not lock it behind group content. So say for example, like you use your railgun to kill Mother Courage and get a part for another piece of more group content. And because that content you're unlocking is only a way to further more group content, it's fine, like it works. Like as a mainly solo player, right? If they had like, say for example, a railgun and then like, say for example, a giant artillery piece that you can make, as an example, it wouldn't be feasible as an example, right? If it's only usable for, it's only useful for group content, I wouldn't be like, I need this to be in my game, because it doesn't really do anything for me. All right, we'll wait for Y7 to join. I feel like that's just trying to be inflammatory, Y7. Let's not just be trolly for trolly's sake, please. I know it's fun in Discord, but let's not get derogatory in chat if we can. It's a public lobby, so you should eventually see me on the lobby list here. I mean, there's a difference between... I mean, what novel? There's a degree of the sense of just because having... There's a balance, right, naturally. There is the question to be asked of solo game with co-op optional content or co-op game with optional solo content. And you can have, like, actual co-op content that's in your solo game and let that be okay, right? Should it be the prime focus? No. But, like, are they allowed to expand the co-op content more? Yeah, absolutely. Now, should anything in the co-op tree ever be specific to the co-op tree that the solo players would want? No. And like lore pages, for example, are certainly something I feel like the solo players would want that should not be locked off from in co-op only for that reason, right? But say, for example, like things that groups would find cool that would require groups, put that behind more group content, right? Say, for example, there was some like group mini game inside the innards, right, that required a group to do. That would be cool co-op content, right? Like, it's not, you wouldn't care about it as a solo player because are you gonna play with yourself and at your poker table inside the innards? No, but like because it's a cool chase item for a group to use as a mini game, yeah, that works. All right. So the only part I have, Y7, is I have the ammo and that's it. So you'll have to bring the base or the turret for someone to drop in scrapyard and we can run it back. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, that's essentially it, right? Like that's it. Like having the codexes being lore pages that the solo players would want would be punishing solo play, but having content that only group players would enjoy behind the group, like the group wall of content, is a way of doing it. Yeah. All right, scrapyard. For the transfer of goods. All right.
I hate the surface.
Oh, we lost. Wait, you're just loading in. We can go ahead and start the extract though. I mean, maybe pickled. I mean, we do have innards defense right now. I would say the innards needed expansion before we can actually see like some actual stuff. All right. I think on a certain level too, right? It's perfectly fine for I'm hoping the bigger units they introduce will be able to destroy things like mothers and stuff like that, right? Or toothies. If we ever see, for example, Big Green ever be a unit on a map, right? It should definitely have weapons that should take down unkillables, right? Well, granted, considering all the unkillables are, you know, you're rescuing your agent, it's a different story entirely, but if we ever see the Titan shoot, right? It feels like the Titan should be able to take down units like that. Like, there's a degree of, yeah, the railgun is the way if you want to be proactive in taking down these units. Otherwise, you can just rely upon the battles themselves for doing it for you. No, Y7, you're good. We can't hear you.
That again. Until the next time.
But yeah, the innards right now, I like the concept of like base defense pickle too. It just right now the innards need a lot of extra work, it feels like, to actually make that a thing. Oh, Franco. He dropped in all these turrets. Yeah, in a way, ST, everything needs some work. It seems, yeah. Everything is still foundational, like flushing things out. I mentioned earlier in stream too, man. I've been messing around with Unreal Engine 5, and like my last experience making maps being in Hammer, which is an old editor from like 20 years ago. Holy shit. UE5 is so nice. I cannot stress this enough how much pain there is in making a map with Hammer. It's still fun, but it is an archaic experience. ST, if you ever want to mess around with Unreal Engine 5, making maps in UE5 as opposed to Hammer, oh my god. Anyway, all right, large items. I have this turret supply, so bring the base, bring the turret. Let me get some actual ammo here, or actual guns. I'll just do AK. I don't think so. No, I think we're very far away. I would feel, so like Miles said like 2 or 3 months ago in regards to Q&As, that they're expecting to get progression in like late summer, early August, or like early September, somewhere around there. And that's when I would start feeling like once we see the first iterations of endgame or progression, then I will start feeling more comfortable saying that we have a good baseline. Until then, it just feels all so iffy. I don't think we're necessarily... Y7 hasn't done it yet, so I'm not necessarily hunting for Mom right now, no. Mom would be nice, but I don't think it's necessary. So, alright, so I have the ammo, Samsung has the turret, you need to bring the base, Y7. Like, if we see a Mom, fine, but I don't think we're trying to hunt only for Moms here, considering Y7 hasn't used the railgun yet, so... All right, we're good. No, I never really got into the RPs on Gmod or GTA. I just play D&D instead. In a way, it feels like those are just like interactive D&Ds for people who don't want to play fantasy games, which is perfectly fair. Each their own. But in a way, it's just like this parallel to like D&D, right? Where it's just more virtual, but like they still want to roleplay. Roleplaying is fun. If you don't do it in fantasy, that's perfectly fine too. People do sci-fi, or if you want to do like modern roleplaying, you have, you know, Gmod or GTA. Yeah, in a way, like, it doesn't really matter what we hunt, but I want to let you guys use the railgun too. I've been using it all day already. Are we like 3 for 3 to coming to this map and not having mechs? What the hell, Gabe? Oh, because AFK. He'll catch up. I think Ben's trying to figure out his mic. How are we genuinely 3 for 3 for like not seeing anything on Mesa? What the hell? Alright, whatever, I guess we run it back. No, I mean, I would say, weirdly enough, 600 rounds is about my moderate loadout. When things don't go down in one shot generally, yeah, more the merrier.
What happens next? Good thing I brought my bullet-resistant coat.
I know it's not possible, but man, imagine if we could shoot down fucking bombers with this thing. Nice guy, Cave.
Get like 10 gorilla cyber.
Yeah, and actually, you can. It's nice to be able to pace yourself now with no water drain outside of the game. All right, let's keep skedaddling. Let's get to a map that we can actually kill things on. I wonder if Stairway is just a better map for this. It doesn't have a good placement spot though. We could do Elephant, but Elephant's gonna be mainly medium mechs. It's a killing field of medium mechs though, but... if you do the Water Thief quest and then you have water bots, it will pop up ever so often, like every week or two. It can take a while. It's not... It doesn't happen consistently. Mech Trench doesn't have... Mech Trench only has, like, one chance for a medium mech. And no specials, really. So no, not really. It's not a good map for the railgun. Alright, let's skedaddle. I mean, ST, you can go to your time clock, your IRL clock, and just progress it forward until you get a raid. Yeah, and night shift, like, we can shoot for night shifts, but that's just gonna be a lot of running through a map over and over again.
Wake me up in a year.
The other option is forcing it on Scrapyard, or just a Scorched Enclave. I don't know, with the choppers currently, I'm not a big fan of Scorched Enclave right now. Yeah, it's the IRL clock, right? Your game's based off the IRL clock, so just progress time forward until it triggers. Alright, run it back. Yeah, I mean, if we're going for specials, Mesa, not really Swamp, no. Stairway's fine. Yeah, let's do one more Mesa. If we don't get another Mesa, we'll try something else. Let's try one more Mesa. give it one more shot. That's good. Yeah, like that's the whole thing, right? The game's really atmospheric, but like it's got a lot of work to do on the gameplay front, which I hope they can explore. I mean, the heli incident is not even referring to one incident, it's just helicopters currently. It just seems that their target priority is out of whack right now. It's one thing if the problem I have, right, is it feels like it's definitely a good hunter-killer. Like, if we're belligerent and we're doing naughty things, it definitely feels like having a helicopter as a response to that is very just and fair. It just feels like right now, a lot of the situations where choppers come up is not because you did anything wrong, other side than just be in the open. And also, I mean, it partially comes down to that choppers shouldn't be loitering like that anyway. Choppers loitering over the ground like that just is ludicrous. And it's stylistic, sure, but it's comically stylistic. Are we? Game, please. How are we 4 to 4 with 4 players and not a single spawn of... Is it gimping the spawns for performance? In a way, Nilo, right? The way I feel like... Unk's here. He's just loading in. Yeah, he's just a slow load in Y7. It feels like the helicopter should be like... The helicopter's like almost a prime example of how HK should function, right? It's loitering outside the prime battle, shooting in, and if you do something really wrong and piss off, like, Eurasia, that's when it comes in and fucks with you. But in a way, it being off-map, shooting in and killing, like, NPCs is kind of a way of showing you, hey, this is the result of your actions if you fuck around too much. This will be you finding out. Yeah, maybe we should just do Stairway. It feels like much more probable on Stairway for a special to spawn on this. We've been getting cucked on Mesa for 4 times now, so it doesn't feel like very probable of getting medium max on this. It could be a multiplayer consideration. Maybe they like tune down the spawns in 4 people. With 4 people, I have no idea. Novel, because the chopper runs around the map currently, it more of just will passively aggro to you if you're in line of sight of it, essentially. So, like, if you're doing nothing wrong and you're just, like, moving around the map, you can just accidentally grab the ire of the chopper. In contrast to what I'm explaining as a system, is that wouldn't even be consideration until you do bad things. So in a way, it would be... It doesn't exist, Nilo. You might be able to kill a tank for it to drop the part, but I don't think so yet. The vehicle is just a placeholder. But in a way, it would be just the... kind of the escalation, right? It'd be a much more appropriate escalation as opposed to HK spawning around corners, right? I think in a way, Skycave, it's also upon the fact that, like, mothers just don't attack tanks very well, too. Like, it could be that mothers should win that fight, but it's just because mothers just don't have the AI right now. Doesn't work that well. Yeah, essentially, them loitering outside the area, like, or in the sense of, think of it this way, it's less about because the choppers are, like, stylistically on the map itself, as opposed to outside the perimeter, it just has them feel very weird and not like a regular chopper that does loiter outside the area. A chopper doesn't need to be 10 feet above you to do a gun run. I have fantastic news. A helicopter can kill you without you hearing it, or without you knowing it's there. Now, that shouldn't be the case in a game, but it doesn't need to be like the exact exaggerated opposite, right? All right, let's go over to the wall. Let me talk to good old Grillo here. Baby, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Huh, how did this get here? Rat King Codex. Huh. Would a god have a codex? Like, I wouldn't think so, right? There we go. It's all right, take 3. Frog, I'm kind of over... It would take a very cool looking game to get me into a PvP one. For me to open myself up to get cheaters in a game, it would take a very truly unique and interesting extraction shooter, which I haven't found yet. I haven't been looking that hard, to be perfectly honest. But I haven't seen it yet.
I hate the surface.
No, well, that's exactly how you should, like, that's exactly how helicopters basically, like, are, right? They are skulking monsters off in the distance. That's exactly what helicopters are. Yeah, I'm very glad this is PvE. And in a way, too, like, if there's true innovation in this space, I will probably gladly play the game. But a lot of the extraction shooters right now are morally sticking to the genre as a whole, as opposed to exploring the space. And in a way, it will take a while, right? Just like how WoW was kind of overbearing in the MMO market for a while, it will take some time, too, for true innovation to come to the genre. We're not killing that. We're gonna go down here. I hate this area for killing things. It just has respawns galore, so we're gonna move down. Well, in the sense of PvP is tricky more because it's hard to balance, but it's also just got massive issues, and it has giant technical costs that are hard to realize. Making fair, or rather fairing, like, it's got so much nuance to it, right? Making an actual complete, fair, well-balanced, like, good system or good design to not make cheating easy. It's just so many considerations. All right. Any specials down here? Are we gonna get no specials down here too? Toothy? Why, Seven, I have bad news. You might be cursed. 2 maces and now a stairway and nothing. Now, I will say, this is definitely, I would consider, a pain point, right? Just like this shit you have to chug along, and we don't know if we ever need it. Well, I guess we go leaving. Run it back, I guess. Well, in the sense that, like, it's kind of, extraction shooters invite a lot of modular design, which is very easy for any developers or smaller developers who might not take into consideration all of the back-end work they need to do to make a truly, as best as they can, secure game, right? There's been so many instances recently of developers underestimating the audience they cater to and how willing some of them are going to go through to get ahead in their game. And so when you like want to make a PvP game in the current day, you have to design your game from the ground up to be as secure as possible in that regard. Yes. And many of them are not up to the task, right? It's a losing battle too. Like it's much easier being the person on offense than it is on defense, because the person on defense has to be flawless, and you only have to win once. So like that on a level that's why I do somewhat have like some hope for Bungie. If they can provide a polished experience that is actually fairly secure and diminishes cheating, it might actually have some integrity to it, right? Now, will that be enough to keep players engaged? Probably not. But if you can prevent cheating from becoming a big thing in your PvP game, you will probably keep quite a few players in your game that would otherwise leave, right? And the reason why I say Bungie is a good track record on this is Bungie is one of the few developers to actually go out of their way to sue for-profit cheat developers. And win, so... Like, for a cheat development company, right? Is it worth developing a cheat for a game that you know the developers are going to come after you for, right? When it's easier to make a cheat for another game entirely. Yeah, my main concern, Frog Pants, which I mentioned earlier in stream, is more of like, can it keep people's attention over a period of time? Alright, we still have the parts. We can run it back. The art style is interesting, right? But like, yeah, it just, on a whole, is the gameplay engaging enough? Is the overall experience good enough to keep players, keep retention high? In a way, like, remember, PUBG did show that, like, as long as you offer a compelling experience, people are willing to play a game for a very long period of time. Like, PUBG stayed at a very large player count for a very long time. And in a way, the map was big, right? The original PUBG map with 100 players. Like, it provided a lot of different experiences, right? We'll have to see if they can do the same thing. Alright, just waiting for you, Ben. Yeah, I'm not familiar with mobile games. I don't delve into mobile games at all. My phone is for checking emails, calling, and texting people. And occasional toilet browsing of the internet. Outside of that, like, my apps are basic as shit. I usually don't... I guess it depends on how brutally quick you mean quick is, right?
Game faces people.
There is definitely some tension, I feel like. I mean, when you think of extraction shooters too, right, it does lean into like this lethality. But like a quick TTK is both a blessing and a curse, right? It helps players who might not be as skilled rat and get ahead, but also it can feel kind of unengaging when you just get popped immediately, right? Oh, I know, Franco, yeah. I know you're not AFK. All right, let's go see if we can find a special unit here. Weirdly enough, Nilo, this would never happen, but I do think like there should be probably an age requirement for smartphones. Like naturally, the kids do need a way to call and text their parents, but like full of untethered access to the internet is a blessing and a curse.
We miscalculated.
Oh god, flip phones are fun. Is there something going on in the back end? There we go. I mean, it's only a medium mech, but it's something. It feels kind of a lame target. Why, Seven? Do you want to murder it, or do you want to wait for a better target? I mean, if you want to murder, you can just put it right here. Top of the stairs. You just put it right here then. You hit it again, by the way. So you hit the Q, I think, key, and then you hit Q again to place it. All right, here's the turret. Oh, let me get off of it. Go ahead. I've already used it once. Is he hitting it? Are you hitting the destroyed medium mech instead? I'm not sure if you're hitting it. Exo, to the left. There we go. Left. Oh, it's not a... Can't swivel it. Come on, come on. Exo. Alright. I think I have a drill. Yeah, I have a drill. Someone can have the actual codex, so I'll just drill into it. Alright, it is... Alright, it's going. Takes a minute and a half, but it's going. Yeah, it's all yours. Do I hear a dog? That's dog music. Oh, there's a dog. Hey, dog. I only have 3 shots left. I don't think this is enough. Oh god, the actual, like... Okay, I can't ADS with this thing. It's got too much freaking, like, sway to it, ADSing. Yeah, 3's not enough. I think it took us, like, 4 or 5 to kill it last time. I think it was 4. Yeah, this is not easy to hit this thing when it's moving so fast. That's 1. 2. Alright, that's it. We're gone. Okay, you got it. We can probably just go leave now then. I feel like the mechs... I feel like the fire should despawn before the mechs do.
We have a time extraction. It's 2 minutes.
Let's just go start it. We'll be fine. I kind of always felt like, too, Like, now visually it'd be hard to do this, right? Maybe you could do like kind of a material change on it perhaps to show it, as opposed to like a full-fledged like model. But I always felt like the special unit would be, or rather, the railgun in of itself isn't a way to necessarily kill the special unit. It can, but it's more of a way of like starting the boss fight or starting the mechanics where you can actually engage with the creature, right? So as opposed to the railgun being the only way of killing the unit, it's opposed a way of stripping the armor in a spot to actually start damaging it. So as opposed to using the railgun to like necessarily both shoot and kill the grabber, you more shoot the grabber with the railgun to damage its armor, so you can actually shoot that part now as a weak point. And there is the factor of like, yeah, like having actual deformation on a unit would be hard and, you know, performant, or not performant. But like, I feel like you could still render it or still just have it be like a material, right? As opposed to an actual deformation. Yeah, medium mechs for Europa have a lot of modularity, right? In regards to like shipping parts. You can actually, unless they changed it, you actually can strip their parts with just a rifle too. They might have fixed that though. But with a grenade launcher, for example, if you shoot a grenade launcher at their gun, they will lose their gun, their scar. One away too, Ben. It's just more like it just feels kind of lame, right? Where like when you make it that the railgun exposes a weak spot, it means that every shot with the railgun counts. Say for example, right there, we have 3 shots left, and like we can't kill anything with 3 shots. So essentially, even though the railgun has 3 shots left, it's essentially useless. It would be nice if it more just opened up spots where we can engage with units better, right? But no, that was neat. I mean, I wouldn't... As a baseline, it seems fun. I would definitely want to see more polishing and stuff in the future with it, but as a core, the railgun's cool. Having chase items like the codexes is a very nice feature. Alright. That's it for today, everyone. Thanks for watching. I need to go do some other things for a while. Railgun was cool. I hope they explore more with it. I hope you guys enjoyed the railgun too. And I will see you guys on Monday. Alright, bye all.